Hey guys, I know what I said about the book of Genesis, and that's what I'm going to do. You know, do wholesome truth, read truth and stuff like that. But there are times where I should say something, and that time is now. I do believe this is a perfect time to say this. My soul is stirred up. There's a date closing in. I'm not a date setter, and I never will be. And Apophis, the peace plan, all the things you see in the world colliding and meeting in one place, peace and safety. I would have to imagine that the peace and safety is Israel, and you see that happening right now. It really troubles me. It troubles me. You know, I was just watching Sling and Stone. I was just watching the second part of a video he made, I think yesterday. And I'm like, dude, you know, whatever, brother. He's like, a lot of people are saying Donald Trump is the Antichrist. And so he goes on about him and Jared Kushner. And if he's the architect of this plan, whatever. But the most obvious thing is in front of your face. I mean, only the people who are willing to open up their mind and look at the objective signs. There's like 30 of them, and they're serious. Like mega, fifth highest position. You can see him in his. I saw a video the other day of Trump in a Freemason ceremony, and he's there as the leader in, you know, like red. In red, this was an old video, and he's sitting down. He's making the triangle. These guys are Satanists. It's built into his friggin' building. What don't you see about that? I don't get it, man. Open your eyes, all of you. So, while everyone's, and you know, we should hold. Sorry, I have difficulty speaking. At this point in time, we're about to have this peace deal. We don't know if there's going to be a number associated with it. And Kushner is a big part of developing this plan, but so is Trump. They're together. But the one who appears most likely to be the Antichrist is Trump. He's rude, he's vile, he's got a big mouth. And when I look at Jared Kushner, there's maybe one or two signs. And it's not that they won't like women, that the Antichrist won't like women. They honor power and a god of fortresses. I think that's what it means. And it doesn't matter, you know, like all the things the Antichrist is supposed to be doing, he's doing. And the reason that you don't understand and you can't see it is because he's been sensitized to you ever since he was on the scene. And that's why you don't think it's him, but he's right in front of your face. That is the entire plan of the devil. If you're not willing to watch the objective signs, you can look back at my videos to see them, but that's not really what I wanted to talk about. I'm not a date setter. What I'm doing is what a person should do when they learn specific information. And we've all heard of this. And I'm doing it at this specific time because it's starting to fit even more as it goes along. So there's a lot to this. And a lot of pain here, guys. How do I say this? Okay, so we're closing in on the date that if Apophis, so 20 million metric tons, 140 stories long, 120 stories wide, that's massive. That's 20 aircraft carriers. It's a partial planet killer. So they're telling us it's not going to hit the Earth, but only going to miss us by 20 or 30,000 miles. That is so close you have no idea. the world will stand still on that day. Can we trust these space agencies? And they wouldn't tell us anyways, would they? Do you think they'd tell us? The world would be much worse than it is right now. It's going to hit the ocean if it is wormwood. So any studying scriptural student of Scripture, knowing the times and the seasons and the fig tree and everything associated with that, don't you think it's smart to, hey, there's a huge friggin' asteroid coming at us. It's going to come in Friday the 13th of all days, Friday the 13th, 2029. April 9th, 2029. And so, as Tom Horn said, he said this is it. And I don't need Tom Horn to tell me this is it. I know the times and the seasons. There's about to be a peace deal. There's war all over the earth. People have changed. Governments are trying to undermine us with all their laws. Authoritarianism. It's horrible. Look at Nigeria. Man, there's 7,000 Christians just this year. Genocide in Gaza. Yes, I do believe that. There's just so much evil on this earth. When they say peace and safety, sudden destruction comes upon them like labor pains. But you, brothers, are not in darkness, that this day should overtake you as a thief. So, there's more to this, though. So Tom Horn said, and it makes sense, if that is, so you can't call me a date setter, it wouldn't even be true, because we're supposed to do mathematical calculations, just like in the book of Daniel. If that is the prophecy of Wormwood, then that means, so if you believe in like a 7-year, there's like tribulation, great tribulation, and wrath. And at wrath we are saved. So it's just the halfway point. So when the Apophis, if that is Wormwood, when it hits, that would be the halfway point. And then the rest is wrath from trumpet 1 on. Yeah, I do believe it's trumpet 1 to 4 or 1 to 5. Absolutely do. It's just at a perfect time. So you count backwards 3.5 years and it gives you, if it is, the most likely date of tribulation, great tribulation, at a time when they're saying, we're going to give you those tomahawks, most likely, cruise missiles, 1,500 mile range to Ukraine. It's coming. That's his red line, Putin's red line. And they're saying that if they encroach with any other jets, shoot them down. That's the furthest we've been to World War III, and it will break out unless something miracle by the Antichrist. Do you understand where we are? They're gearing up for war. They're ready for war right now. I watch the reports. I see the things. I understand the stupid little spark that could happen. And just give me a break here for a second. It's my throat and my abdomen today. It always is, but it's a little worse right now. Just give me a second. Gotta take a sip. So if you count backwards, that would bring you to Monday, October 13th. If you count backwards, if that is Wormwood, that's the most suspect thing. And I saw that scientists who they're not putting in articles and TV are saying that they believe that will hit the west coast ocean of the United States. That'd be very fitting. I believe Mystery Babylon is Israel and the beast is the United States because they support them. You know, the whore in Riding the Beast and Scarlet. They're going to split the land. That's all happening. We know this is happening when they say peace and safety. So listen even closer. Most, I would say most studying Christians who keep their eye on the Bible, they know or they believe that we're most likely on a 7,000 year timeline, right? I'm not a dispensationalist. We're on a 7,000 year timeline. And God does not tarry. He's very exact in what he does. And I do believe he gave us exactly 2,000 years of grace. And you can look at the writings of the Essenes and everything, and you can go by their jubilees, and those jubilees show us that they said in the Dead Sea Scrolls that they found in Qumran, right? They wrote stuff too. They wrote prophecies, and they had many things correct. As a historian at the time, was it Josephus, said they are always right. So they said in a prophecy, the end of the age of grace is 2025. So I'm just going by if this is Apophis. That's it. It's not hard to do the counting. So I see World War III just about to happen. And I said that about almost 2 weeks ago. I got 2 weeks to go. It doesn't matter. You know what's coming. Our Earth is primed. So the 7,000 year timeline. You can calculate by what I think it's in the book of Luke, where it says, was it Tiberius Caesar? Anyways, they can figure out the year of Jesus when he came. It's probably something like 4 BC. 4 BC. Okay? And so you look at almost exactly 2,000 years ago. So it's like his baptism may have been 2027, and then his death I'm just going to have to think about that. I don't know if it's 2032, 2031. In any case, we're coming up on that time. With all the things I said combined together, we're coming to a pinpoint where everything meets. Peace and safety, war, the Antichrist, I know the false prophet, this deal, peace and safety, it's here. So, I'm just waiting for the Great Tribulation. That is what I'm waiting for. Again, I say I'm not date setting, but the reality would be it's only logical to count backwards from the date that they know that this is going to come by the earth. Not just come by the earth, man. What is it to get around the earth? 12,000 miles? 12,000 kilometers or miles? Right? So the girth of the earth to go around like that, just imagine it's going to come as close as pretty much that. Maybe times 2. And you believe them. You believe them that they say it's not going to hit us. It's traveled for infinity just to miss us by that much. It fits. It fits. I guess we'll see. If that, I'm just saying that count backwards is October 13th. That's Monday. That's just in a few days. And as I watch the news, I'm like, wow, man, one of those jets, he starts to try to agitate NATO. Boom, there it is. That's how all wars start, especially one like this. But when they say peace and safety, sudden destruction, here it is. Here it is. I can't imagine it being anything else than what we see and what they've been parroting for about a year. We're here. We're going to watch it develop. We're going to see what these plans exactly are. Well, just watch. Isn't it funny how everything's turning authoritarian? You should see what they're doing in Canada with all these C bills, trying to undermine us, take the internet, take our phone away, take our guns away. Man, it's like social media post, guy goes to prison for 20 years in the UK. It's coming everywhere. The digital ID was not, people aren't pushing back so hard that it's coming. It's coming everywhere. You just don't know it yet. So for the people who might scoff and mock me, go look at this digital ID thing. Then go read Revelation 13. Every man, woman, and child shall receive a mark, his hand and his forehead. So, can't take that mark. That's about all I have to say. I had to say it. As much as I want to read Genesis and the New Testament, which I will continue, and I will, I will link all those together so they're not all separate and stuff like that. I have to say these things. Keep watch. Keep watch, because you don't know. You don't know. And anyone, again, who says no one knows the day or the hour, whatever. God bless.